A Day in Colonial Haiti by Philippe Girard, narrated by Oluseun Olagbaju. Midnight. The old man reminisces about his pirate days. It is midnight, but Vincent Olivier is awake. Sleepless nights have become more common since his wife, Catherine, passed away. Some people dream of a long life, but aging, in Vincent's experience, means losing loved ones. Also, achy joints. The old man sits up in his bed, massages his lower back, and leans over his nightstand. He rummages clumsily in the dark until he finds what he's looking for: a glass tube. He tries to snap off the top with his wrinkled fingers, but to no avail. The tube is called a phosphoric candle. Vincent bought it recently after it was advertised in the Cape's newspaper. In an age without electrical switches or even matches, the phosphoric candle seemed like magic to a night owl like Vincent. Just snap the tube's neck, the ad promised, and the chemical inside will ignite, the tube will light up, and thieves and ghosts will be bested. The phosphoric candle was invented by Pilatre de Rosier, who, as everyone from 1784 knows, was the first man to fly on a hot air balloon. Easier said than done, grumbles Vincent as he fumbles with the unwieldy contraption. His hands are not as strong as they were when he was a young man storming the fort of Boca Chica. He struggles for a few minutes until, suddenly, the glass gives way and snaps in two, tearing a gash along his thumb. He winces and drops the tube, which shatters on the floor. The phosphorus ignites instantly. I now have light in my room, alright, but my parquet is on fire, he thinks. Will the city of the Cape, which has endured its share of fires in its turbulent history, burn to the ground again because of Vincent's carelessness? The old man grabs the chamber pot that he keeps by his bed. The need to urinate is what woke him up in the first place, and throws it at the base of the flames. No such luck. If anything, the urine seems to have added fuel to the fire. I have survived Spanish bullets, hurricanes, slavery, and yellow fever, but this is how it ends. Burned alive because I was stupid enough to listen to a candle salesman. In desperation, Vincent throws his bed sheets on the fire and holds them down as tight as he can. That seems to do the trick. The fire is snuffed out almost instantly. I suppose this phosphoric demon needs air to work, just like any old fire. It is pitch black again, now that the fire is extinguished. Vincent trudges across his dark bedroom until he feels the familiar shape of the window's plantation shutters under his fingers. The slanted slats provide security while letting in the sea breeze. Plantation shutters also let jealous husbands peek inside their wives' bedrooms, which is why they are called jalousie in Caribbean French. A soft white light floods the bedroom when Vincent swings open the shutters. It is Sunday, April 11th, 1784, and the night is bathed in the glow of the full Easter moon. Vincent lives on the corner of Vaudreuil and Chantier streets in the Cape. Like Boston, the city before his eyes is home to some 15,000 people, though the census is approximate because much of the population is transient. Thousands more slaves, soldiers, sailors, and adventurers land every year. They are brought to the Cape, willingly or not, by the economic boom that is transforming the richest colony in the Americas. Thousands more vanish each year after they have made their fortune, or, more often than not, died trying. When Vincent was a child, the Cape was just a ramshackle collection of seashore huts that were regularly destroyed by Spanish and English raids. But after yet another fire in 1734, its inhabitants rebuilt the city in stone. Streets were paved and raised, elegant fountains erected alongside stately plazas, and the docks extended into the bay to accommodate the growing sea trade. The small settlement of the Cape became a major hub of world commerce. A few blocks from Vincent's window, the bay is filled with ships from Philadelphia, New Orleans, Sao Tome, Hamburg, and Bordeaux. Just now, another vessel, a slaver by the looks of her, is charting her way through the reefs that line the bay. Vincent knows the city better than anyone alive because he is 120 years old. The number should be taken with a grain of salt. His contemporaries, whose lives tend to be nasty, brutish, and short, are fascinated with unusually long-lived individuals, so one-upmanship is the norm. Some Jamaicans claim to be 160 and tell stories about the time they shared a bottle of rum with Captain Morgan. Who can check such claims? Humidity, fires, hurricanes, and pests make the archivist's job a nightmare, and record keeping was not exactly a priority during Haiti's wild early days. Vincent knew many of those early French settlers. They were buccaneers, professional hunters who killed wild boar and cattle and smoked the meat over an open pit called boucan. Since they were good marksmen, some switched over time to the more lucrative profession of high seas robbery, which is how buccaneering came to be associated with piracy instead of French cuisine. One of the great pirate hideouts in Vincent's youth was the island of Tortuga, a few miles west of the Cape. Those were the days. Filibusters, as French pirates were also called, were a fiercely egalitarian lot. They disliked the planter elites that exploited black slaves and white indentured servants. They married other men if they wished. They rejected the discipline of the navy and the church. They elected their own leaders and answered to no one. Spain and France both claimed ownership of the colony, but in practice, Haiti was an anarchic medley of adventurers, planters, slaves, and pirates. This is the world in which Vincent grew up. Vincent is old now. In fact, he's older than the colony. By the time France formally acquired Haiti from Spain under the 1697 Treaty of Ryswick, he was already a grown man. 1697. What a year that was. France and Spain were at war, and the Caribbean was, as always, a battlefield. A French fleet stopped in Haiti to pick up soldiers from the local garrison, and a large and unwieldy group of pirates agreed to join the expedition, as allies, not subordinates. Civilian volunteers also joined, bringing 180 of their slaves along. Vincent was one of those slaves. The assaulted French fleet headed for the town of Cartagena in Spanish Colombia. The pirates and the slaves proved their worth when they helped storm the fort of Boca Chica and breach the city walls. The loot was considerable. In recognition for his daring do during the siege, Vincent got the grandest prize of all, his freedom. But then, on the return trip to Haiti, the English captured his ship and took him captive to Europe as a prisoner of war. In a confusing moment of whiplash, Vincent had both won and lost his freedom. Thankfully, he was eventually released and sent to France, where he got to meet the Sun King Louis XIV. Upon his return to Haiti after the war, Vincent began a new life as a free man, just as the golden age of piracy was coming to an end. Now that Haiti was officially a French colony, France urged pirates to use proceeds from the raid of Cartagena to buy slaves and grow tobacco, sugarcane, and coffee. France also sent women to improve the behavior of the first colonists and encourage them to settle down. Piracy gave way to agriculture as the colony's main source of income. Vincent adapted to the new times. He bought a plantation, and the freed slave became a slave owner. He had once fought alongside unruly pirates. He now maintained public order as the commander of the Cape's colored militia. His last adventure overseas took place in 1744, when he captained a privateering ship during King George's War. But this time, Vincent carried with him a royal commission authorizing him to attack France's enemies. Now, Vincent is the Cape's most respected elder. He has 42 children and grandchildren, an impressive accomplishment because Haiti's birth rate is as low as its life expectancy. The centenarian is much too old to fight nowadays, but his family's military tradition continues. During the latest war with England, this one over the independence of England's North American colonies, Vincent's sons volunteered in a colored unit and fought in Savannah, Georgia. A cloud eclipses the moon. The old man breaks from his reverie. "You can't stay up all night dreaming of glory, old man," he tells himself. He closes the shutters and heads back to his bed. In the dark, he bumps into a chair and tumbles on the floor. One of his slave valets hears the commotion and steps into the bedroom, wax candle in hand. He helps his old master get back on his feet and into his bed. The valet picks up the bedsheets piled on the floor to put them away. "Don't! The phosphorus fire rages anew. Progress is not always a good thing, Vincent thinks as he helps his servant put down the second fire of the evening. Life seemed simpler back in Haiti's buccaneering days.
This is a note by the historian and author Philippe Girard. All the people mentioned in this book are real. Vincent Olivier was indeed a slave, a pirate, and a slave owner who became the most respected man in the Cape and supposedly died at the age of 120. I only changed one date. He actually died in 1780, but I added a few years to his considerable lifespan so that he could be featured in this book set in 1784. Phosphoric candles were also a real thing. I took their description straight from an ad in the colonial newspaper of Haiti. The city of the Cape did not burn on that fateful night of Easter 1784, but it did burn twice during the Haitian Revolution in 1793 and 1802, and then it was badly damaged by an earthquake in 1842. Only the basic city grid and the occasional monument remain from the colonial period. This book is available on Amazon as an audiobook, an ebook, a paperback, and a hardback. Professional historians interested in checking out all the original archival documents that were the basis for this book should consult the endnotes in the print version.